Hey guys, so I'll do a quick update. Monday, it's Monday, April 15th, excuse me. I do a little update here. Grass is growing. Yesterday we had about 2 inches of snow on the ground, and by midday today it was all gone. See a little bit in the neighbor's yard over there that's left, but had about 2 inches of snow yesterday, and now all melted off the roof and everything, and whatever. As you can see, it's starter fertilizer put down about 2 weeks ago, something like that. You can kind of see where the neighbor's yard over there starts, and kind of see right in there. It's greened up real nice. The grass is starting to fill in, so I'm gonna be mowing soon. 534 is all set to go. It's been set to go, so that's a plus. Got the clutch set up here on the 112 round fender. I got the deck out. So you can see there's literally just a little bit of rust where the spindles were, but this deck is like brand new. It's awesome. Needs to be pressure washed. Not sure what it's gonna be like this weekend. If it's warm enough, I'll get it washed. But got new belts on order for it through work. The old belts were cracking and glazed over. New belts on order. I have the spindles out. I did run the deck with the old crappy belts just to make sure it ran, see how it sounded. Idlers are a little noisy on it, so I'm going to replace those. And then the spindles sounded decent. Take them apart, I'm going to knock all the old grease out of them and repack the bearings with some fresh grease, and should be set to go there. So you got the front end, everything's all greased up on this. Got the steering box greased, the rock shaft and all that jazz. As you can see, the clutch is on. These belts are getting replaced as well. There's, I don't know where it is right now. There's a giant crack in one of them. The other one's on its way out the door. I just didn't take it back off yet, but figure out how that goes on, so that's all good. And that's so it stays engaged like it should, and it tensions. And I got the, this is actually pretty nifty. Mom's 66 110 didn't have this, but this one had it. I'm not sure if it was an option or what. It goes to the front axle here, and it is for tensioning this little pulley assembly, because that pulley back there runs the drive belt to the mower deck. It's a little tension arm, which is kind of sweet. Or if you look here at Mom's 66 110, it just goes straight to the front axle. Where originally I put this one in the front axle, and I found in the bin of parts I had for this tractor that little research, and that's what that's for. So got the, you guys haven't seen the seat cover yet, I don't think. It's the original seat cover for it, so pretty sweet. But yeah, that's all set to go. Everything's pretty well ready on this machine. It's all been pressure washed. The engine bay's all been degreased and all that jazz, but figure I'll take her out for a little burn today for you guys, so. There you guys go. A little burn on the 112. You haven't really seen much of this one yet. Yeah, it does have the HH100 Tecumseh in it, so 10 horsepower cast iron Tecumseh, a little brother to what's in the Sears. Yet again, I'll reinforce the fact I don't get why people think it's so hard to get these engines to run right. It's the second Tecumseh, older Tecumseh I've owned of the cast iron block, big blocks per se, 10, 12 horse engines, and I've had zero issues. Just clean the carb nice and put them back together and they run great. So that's that. There's the 112, guys. Hopefully we'll get a mowing video. First mow will probably end up, because I do got to thatch the yard this year, so a 317 will probably be on thatch duty. And then 534 will get hooked up to the bagger and it'll bag the yard, get all the thatch picked up. But after that, maybe we'll get a mowing video of this guy here. Gotta sharpen the blades, and once I get my belts and stuff, and they should be in Wednesday, Thursday this week. Get those put on and get the deck leveled, and we'll go and get some mowing videos with this guy. But yeah, so that's that, guys. 110, nothing really new right now. It is what it is. Probably, actually, it hasn't been running in a while. Well, we'll start it up for you guys. I feel like I'm a hoarder or something like that. I have all these parts all over the place, like other YouTubers that use their tractors as workbenches. It's okay. Well, we'll see what she'll do. It's a little choke. Oh, cold-blooded. Little cold-blooded. For whatever reason, I did figure that out this winter. It's a little cold-blooded. Gotta let her warm up just a little bit, but she runs great though. Still, for an aftermarket carburetor, that was probably the best one I've ever seen. That was I got the rebuild parts for this from iSaveTractors.com, and it came with the ultimate rebuild kit for the Kohler cast iron single cylinders, and this was for obviously the K181. And it came with a carburetor. I put that carburetor on there, and I have yet to tune it. It was that good from out of the box. So I was really pretty pleased with that. Just about every older unit, and when you get carburetors OEM or something at work and we throw them on, usually you got to tune them a little bit. But so I can't believe that with the rebuild, and that runs perfect. I've had zero issues with it. That one, after we got the carb cleaned up and did a fuel system clean on it, and it's giving me zero hassle. So, but yeah, so I figured that's that, guys. A little update of what's going on around here. That is the new push mower. I don't think you guys have seen it. It'll be replacing the Briggs & Stratton powered Toro. Definitely not very pleased with that at all. Things been taken care of. We're the only owners that bought that brand new 8 years ago, something like that. Parents did. Thing knocks like no other. It's gotten regular oil changes every year. And the thing is just used for doing trim up around the bushes up here, this, and then the backyard. Doesn't have too hard of a life. And let's see, it knocks pretty bad. I've had minor carburetor issues with it. That's not, in my book, that's more of a maintenance item, because if you get gunk in your fuel, that stuff. The deck is cracked in 2 spots under the chute. Where the chute holds on, we got rivets in there now. put rivets up to the top to hold the chute on because the plastic tangs have broken off. One of the first things was that rock flap guard. As soon as you back the mower up backwards, the first time we used it, the thing just chewed up that guard. And there's there's like 2 or 3 other spots underneath where the gauge wheels mount to the deck's cracked, and they're starting to crack out worse. But not very pleased with it. More or less the engine is what I'm not pleased with. The thing, it uses oil. It smokes pretty bad when you start it up. It clears out after a couple of minutes, but I'm not very pleased. I'm not a Briggs & Stratton fan. That's why we got this. Early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s John Deere 14 SE push mower. It's apart right now. I got the blade clutch off and put new bearings in it. It's easier to take the whole motor out. But it's got the 5 horsepower Kawasaki pressure lube engine. This one doesn't have it, but with it being pressure lube, you take that plate off and you have an optional oil filter on there, which is kind of neat. This one does have electric start. It has the blade clutch, which that's off because I'm putting bearings in it. It's a manual blade clutch. You pull the handle down and you push that forward. 5-speed trans. Your throttle controls are up here with choke being all the way forward, and fast throttle, and you have idle and then stop. And your key switch up here for your electric start. But yeah, I put new wheels on it to tune up on the motor. Fresh oil, plug, air filter. I had to get a new blade for it. Wasn't a big deal. New gears for the rear wheels, for the drive wheels, are worn out. Pretty typical of these. They wear out, just is what it is. But yeah, that's that. This is the mulching, bagging, and chute compatible. I do have the mulch plug is sitting on top of the snowblower over there for it. It's what came with it. A buddy of mine has a bag and a chute for it, and he's going to sell me. Buddy at work, and we'll have that because we really just bag and chute with that. We rarely mulch, but if we do, I do have a mulch plate for it. But yeah, so that's that. I figured I'd show you guys the smallest find, but definitely finally have a good, reliable push mower. I know it's going to last around here. I'll reiterate it again, for a newer motor, you really can't beat a Kawasaki engine. Obviously, that is what the X534 has, but the new Kawasaki's are a Yanmar diesel. There's nothing that beats those motors in lawn and garden equipment. So, alright guys, I figured this video's been long enough. Figured just do a little update of what's been going on around here. But I will leave you guys with that, and I will talk to you later.